Ginger from My Sister Scrapper. Welcome to the fun little project we're going to create today. We are going to be using PHOTOPLAY's Folio 3. And we are going to be using the darling Crafting with My Gnomies paper collection and the Crafting with My Gnomies coordinating cardstock ephemera pieces. So we are going to go ahead, and this is going to be a start to finish project. But first, before we start, I'm going to show you what we're going to make. And then I'll go through the supply list and all that good stuff. So here is the cute little folio. Again, I did add, and I'll give you a list of extra little things that I added. I did add a ribbon closure, but the little folio 3 comes with a set of magnets already, so you don't need to add that. And I did add an additional 2 sheets of black cardstock that are 8.5 by 11. And I used 2 sheets of a solid green that coordinated with this collection that are 8.5 by 11. And I used 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 in a pinky watermelon color. And you'll see that when we get inside. So on the front cover, we've got Crafting with My Gnomies. I did add a die cut doily here and then some more. That's that pink color that I used, a black circle. I fussy cut this from the actual paper branding page. We've got the ephemera right here. And then here's our ribbon closure. There's the spine and there's the back, the cute little sticker that says made with love. This folio is absolutely really easy to put together, and the instructions are fabulous. So inside we've got 2 pages here. We've got a nice little magnetic closure here with a 3x4 card. I did pop that up, and I did use chipboard for these just because I have so much scrap chipboard left. It's better for me to use that than foam tape. So the magnet's right here, and then again we've got a waterfall page here. It'll hold a full 4x6 photo with no cropping. And here's where I added the green. I've got stickers that I took the sticky off the back here on this one. And then cute little gnome sticker. There's the pink that I used. And the green. Now you don't have to do this. You could just put your photo directly on here. I just wanted to decorate it a little bit more. So again, that's the pink and the green is an option for you. It's not necessary. And then I did add an additional little pocket, which I'll show you how to make in the tutorial. And then I put some of the ephemera pieces, some of the leftover cute little 3x4 cut aparts. This is the 4x6 cut apart that I scored in half. Added a little sticker here and a little create sticker, and then Scraping with My Gnomies. So those go in there. And then here is another of the 3x4 cards here, and I did add a sticker right there. So those go down and it closes like that. And then over on this side, again, I have another 3x4 card that I put on chipboard. It says Art is Messy. This is a piece of ephemera, and I did back it with black just to make it stand out so you don't get that, just to break up the pattern on pattern. That's why I added the green and the pink as well. So this folds down, and then we've got a cute little border sticker here. And then again, I matted this on a little bit of black. I trimmed my card down to 2 7/8 by 3 7/8 just because the folio, the base is white, and I wanted you to be able to see it. I didn't want white on white, so that's why I added a little black there. So then it flips up like this, and again, you've got this cute paper, and here's the black because again, I wanted to make sure that it showed up on the white. I made a little journal spot with a little punch that I had. That's not necessary. You know, you can just leave it plain black there, or you can cut your paper all the way down if you want to. So the way it works is you've got cute little design paper here, and then you open it up, and here's the pink paper, and I left this open for a text spot. I did back this one on a piece of black scrap cardstock, this piece of ephemera, and just glued it down for another text spot. These are the stickers. And a piece of ephemera. Look at that cute little rolling bag. I love it. And then over here is the same thing. We've got this paper here with the cute little gnomes making fun stuff. And I left this open. This is a 3x4 card. Crop. I left this open. And then it looks like this. So these two are kind of a mirror image. I've got I think this is a sticker or a piece of ephemera right here. And then this is a piece of ephemera, one of the tags, another 3x4 card. I did make some little pockets here, and I did back them with a little skinny strip of black cardstock, just so you have a small border. So again, it breaks up the pattern on pattern. Over here, same thing, pocket. This is a sticker And the sticker sheet that I put on black cardstock and fussy cut around it, just so it would show up again, break up the pattern on pattern. And then we have another 3x4 card. And these pages go this way, this goes this, and then the top folds down like that. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to make this from start to finish. I will give you all of the measurements. The instructions for the folio to put it together are really, really fabulous. I'm going to share some things that I learned because the sample is the first time I have made this folio 3. I've made a couple of their folios, but this was the first time I've ever used this one. So what I did in addition to the folio supplies, you're going to need some score tape, some wet glue, some scissors, a ruler, a scoreboard, you know, all those basic things that we normally use. I'll probably use my ATG gun as well, and some wet glue. I did use 2 layering circles on my front cover. It's not necessary if you don't want to. One's 2.5 and one's 2 1/4. I have punches. If you have some layering dies, that would work as well. And then I also used a doily die, but again, you can just use a larger circle. This is just the one I have in my stash. I like this one, and yes, I have 2 of them because I use this one a lot. And it's about a 4-inch, I think. Oh, nope, 3 and about 3 3/4 doily. But I like it because it's not real intricate, but it still breaks up that pattern on pattern. So that's what I used on the front cover as well. And like I said, I used 2 pink, 2 green, and 2 black of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I'm going to show you how I cut it down. So on the green, you need 3 pieces of 4 by 6. I'm just going to show you real quick how I cut that down when we get to that point. So that way you can save your paper. And then I've got a ruler here and a pencil. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So when you open up the folio, everything is pre-cut, pre-scored. I mean, seriously, they make it really, really easy. Here's your little magnets. They don't have, you got 2 sets, so you got 4 magnets in there. They're not adhesive back, so you do need to add your own adhesive on there. So you take it right out of the package, and looks like this. You got a second page of instructions. Here's all the pages and the covers and all that good stuff. And then here are the instructions. It tells you you're just going to go step 1, 2. I mean, it's super, super easy, but we're going to put it together. Put it together. Does that make sense? Put it together. Oh, well. All right, here we go. I'm going to move that out of the way. So, step 1, we're going to find our largest piece, which is going to be the cover, which is going to be the back one right here. This one right here. And you'll see that it's got all the score marks in it. It's got scores here, 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 and here. I like to go ahead and fold on my score lines. And you're going to want to take your bone folder and burnish them as well. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do, and it tells us that we are going to cut our corners out at a 45-degree angle. Now, because I like to use tape, I like to put my tape on before I cut my corners. You don't have to. That's just a little tip that I personally like to do. That way I know my tape is going to go all the way to the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use my tape here. And I just go a little bit beyond that 1 score line. And you'll see what I mean when so I put my tape on and then I cut my corners off. Some people say, well, that wastes tape. Well, it's worth it to me. So again, the key to any double-sided tape is make sure you burnish it. It helps it stick, helps the backing come off. All right, so we've got this like this. Now I'm going to cut my corners at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to grab my scissors here. I think the big ones. And you'll see where your score lines intersect. You're just going to cut right on there, like so. Just like that. Do that to all 4 corners. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our tape backing off, and we are going to stick it down. So I like to do the long edges first. Don't know why, just a habit, I guess. Okay, there we have it. So the next step that it says in step 2, well, we already did step 2. I kind of, went ahead. So we're ready here for step 4. It says to locate the interior cover, which is the next largest piece, which would be this one, right here with the score lines. And we are going to fold them all up in the center, and then we're going to turn the piece over and add our score tape. So I'm going to fold these up like so. And it'll show you in the instructions where to put tape. I did add some to the middle just because I want to make sure I didn't have any air bubbles. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over, add our adhesive, and we're going to center that right in between on our score lines, and you should have a little tiny border all the way around about 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to look just like that. I know it's kind of hard to see white on white, but that's what we're going to do next. Okay, now if you'll notice, I've got a little more score tape on here than they suggest, but that if you've ever had an air bubble underneath here, you'll know why I did what I did. Because, I don't know, sometimes that just happens to me. All right, so now we're going to grab our base here, and we're going to take the backing off of our tape. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and just pull a little bit halfway off on these outer edges and line up your corner first, and then pull the remaining piece up, which is what I think I'm going to do on this. We'll give it a whirl. What do you think? Okay, so I'm going to line this up right here. And make sure this is, I'm gonna line this up first. Yeah, let's take these off first. Okay. So you're gonna line those right up with the score line. This is the hardest part, people. I'm just letting you know. I did it a little high, but that's okay. I'm going to burnish that down, and I'm going to take my tape off on this side. There we go. Oh, I guess I do have a border. Oh, there we go. So you should have a border, even border all the way around. Now go ahead and fold back on your score lines because we pre-folded them. And there you have it. Super easy peasy. And because this cardstock is nice and thick, it gives you a really nice thick cover. Plus we're going to add more paper on the top, so that's even better. So there's our cover. Super cute, huh? Wow. All right. So we are ready for step number 6. So we're going to locate the 5 4 1/4 by 6 3/4 waterfall pieces. With the scores that are at the top, we're going to put our score tape on, and we're just going to add our, we're going to make a waterfall basically, and it's going to go on the left side here, and this is going to be the right. So here is my 6 pages. No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to need, we should have 2 of these that have 2 scores. So we're going to need 1 of those as well. And that's in the next step, but I'm just going to pull it out right now while I'm ready. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to add my adhesive to all of my waterfall pages. So again, I'm using 3/8 inch score tape. And then on this one, where you'll see you've got 2 score lines, and we got this large tab, we're going to put our tape on the large tab section, not on that. That's going to be our gusset. And I think I'll add just a little bit more tape here. Don't ask me why, but I will. Okay. So I'm going to burnish my tape, fold on my score lines. Okay, so there's our pages, and then here's this one. We're going to fold on both of those score lines like so and like so. So it's going to look just like this. Okay, so we're going to set that piece aside. We've got our pages, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add our pages to the left side of our book. So you're going to start at the top, work your way down. We're on step 7 if you want to follow along in the little instruction booklet here. I'm going to turn it so it's upside down for me, just so it's easier for me to line it up. So they're just going to line up right here, and you should have, I lined it right up with the top edge of my inside liner. So I'm going to put it like this, and then I'm going to flip it up and add my next page under there. So line it with the top edge and centered with the panel, but I'm using my liner here as my guide. Okay. Right, here we go. So I got it centered and right there. There's my first page. Then you're going to flip this one up, take your next one, and you're going to line up the folded edge with that raw edge just like that. And just keep going till you get all the pages down. Okay, there's our page. Oh, and I put mine on the wrong side, but that's okay. Don't do what I did. I'm going to switch mine up. This should be really over here like this, but I forgot I turned it upside down. No big deal. All right, so we got that. Now we're going to take our little flap, and we're going to add this to the bottom like so. And then these pages are going to go right here. And we're going to add a magnet. Okay. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to lay it flat, find my center, just like so. Now again, in the book instructions, this piece should be over here, but I didn't flip it upside down when I put my things on, so my bad, but it doesn't really matter. It'll just be the opposite. It's no big deal. All right, I'm gonna lift these up. So again, we're gonna attach this here, but I wanna make sure it's in the center. Along the bottom, centered left and right. So it's gonna go just like that. Cute, huh? Okay, so that's done. We'll add our magnet after we get this other page done, or other side, I should say. So now we're gonna work on the other side. What we're gonna do is you should have this piece. It's got this long score mark here, and then you've got these 6 pages, I think, 2, yes, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have that closure like we did the last time. So the first thing we want to do, where are we at here? Oh, we're going to be step 9. So we're locating this piece first. We're going to fold on our score line. And this is going to be the top. So we're going to add this to the top. Just like we did before, we're going to center it. We're going to add it to the top, like so. So let's add our tape. I like to add all my tape to everything and then stick it all down. So again, I fold it on my score line. And I'm going to add my adhesive here. Now, if you want to use wet glue, you can. I'm just really messy with it. Okay, so now we're going to take these, and the way it's going to work is we're going to have 3 on this side. 1, 2, 3. And 3 are going to go this way. Okay, like so, because they're going to overlap. This one's going to go here, and this is going to go here. So we're going to add tape to the 1/2-inch tabs, just like we did on the waterfall pages. And we're going to add our adhesive to the closure like we did on the previous side. So I'm going to fold on my score lines. And we've already folded on this one. Okay, so we're gonna grab our book. And again, I got mine on the wrong sides, but it's no big deal. We're gonna put them on this side. So I'm gonna turn it this way, and we're gonna add this large piece first to the top. And again, we're gonna center it, just like we did the previous one. Like so. And again, we've got a 1/2-inch gusset there, so that way when we get the pages in there and we have photos, that'll help with the bulk and it won't poof out. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Right, like so. Stick it down. And then that's going to go like so. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to add the closure next. So you're going to find you're going to center it like we did before. I'm going to take the tape backing off. And I'm going to turn it this way again, just so I know it's centered. Stick it on. Okay, so it's going to go like so. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to open those back up. Now we're going to add our pages. So now you should have a separate page in your instructions that tells you how to do this. These little. So we're done with that section. We are on step 12. We've already done all of this through step 11, our waterfall. We added our closure. Then we added this. Now we're going to add our pages. So we want these to go here on the right. So we're going to have 3 that are going to go on the right, and we're going to stack them. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. Let's see. With the screw on the right, fold the flat back away from you on the score line for all 6 pages. Set 3 aside. We did. Step 14. So we're going to make a book first and then add it. Okay. Here we go. So you're going to take the first one. And we're going to take the backing off. And you can just do it like this, you know, and just hold a little bit of it out of the way if you want. That way, you know, you can, if you're afraid you're not going to get it lined up. And a good rule of thumb for this is use your scoreboard as a little guide to help you line it up. That's what I do. So I'm going to put this in here like so. I've got my tab folded down. This way I can use it as a little guide. Make sure it's square in there. Put this on. And sit it right on top of there. Okay, and now grab your next page. So we're going to make 2 stacks of 3. So we got 1, 2, this is our last one. So we're going to leave that back in there, take our backing off, and stack this next one right on top. Like so. Okay, so there's our booklet. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do it again. So leave the tape back in on this one. Put it in your scoreboard so you can use it as a guide. And stack the first one on top. And the last one. Okay, there we go. So now we're on step 15, and we're going to add these to our book. Now again, if you didn't screw up like me, you would be putting these on this side. It's the same thing. So what we want to do is we want to have one with the hinge on the left, and we want to have one with the hinge on the right. So you want them to look like this, okay? One on this way and one going this way. We're going to put the one on the right first. And the way it's going to work is it's going to sit right in here, just like this. Centered. And you want to make sure that your little thing is going to cover it. And you have a little bit of leeway, so I'm going to line it right up there. Make sure that's not showing. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Be brave, people. Again, you can use wet glue if this makes you nervous. I think I'm going to center it top to bottom too. Like so. Flip it open. Ta-da! Now we're going to add this one. So again, we've got these pages going out to the right, and we're going to have this one going out to the left. We want to make sure our closure is going to cover our page, so don't stick it out so it's sticking out like that. Trust me. Ask me if I know. Okay. So I am going to add this. Like so. Ta-da. Stick it down. Now these are going to go this way. This is going to go this way. Looky there. Ta-da. All right, now we're going to add our magnets. Because that's all that's left is step 17. Before you begin decorating, make sure you add your magnet sets as shown. Using glue dots, or I'm going to use a little bit of score tape. So there we go. We're going to add a magnet back to the back here and back here, just like it shows in the picture. So let's grab these little dudes. And these are strong. I mean, really strong, because after I thought maybe I would have to, because I did black on this one. I did 2 layers of cardstock, but my cardstock was only 65 pound and it still went all the way through both of them. So if you're using 100 pound, you might want to, if your black is 110 pound, you might want to put your black down first and then put your magnet. But mine's not, so it's all good. All right. The best way to get these apart is to slide them. Okay, so I like to put them kind of, you know, in the middle. Just like that. Gonna add a little bit of tape across the top, like so. I'm gonna stick this down in the middle, or, you know, wherever. And then I'm going to add another little bit of tape. Like so. Pull the backing off, if you can. Now, make sure that you haven't, that you've got your gusset square before you press your magnet down. There we go. Now I'm going to put this backing back over here so it doesn't stick on my paper. Now we're going to do this side. Again, same thing. Again, make sure your paper is square in there. And there you go. Ta-da! And I'm going to cover this up. There's our book. Now we get to do the fun stuff, which is the decorating. Okay? So now we're done with the instructions. Super great instructions, by the way. They're fabulous. All right, here we go. I usually decorate my cover last, so I'm going to decorate the inside first. And if you did it the way the book says, we're going to do the left side, which is really the right side on my book. So here we go. That's gonna go over here. And this is gonna go over here. Okay, so we're just gonna start at the top and work our way down. And again, see, because this was white, I didn't think it showed up very good. So I want to make sure it did. So I cut a piece of black that was 4 by 6, and then I trimmed this piece down to 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So here's my, nope, that's not my black piece. This is my black piece right here. So that's gonna go on there like so, and I'm gonna layer this on top. I think that's what I did. Let me see. So we're doing this right here. Yep, that's what I did. Super cute. All right, so I'm going to layer, again, all the panels that are going to go on these pages are going to be 4 by 6. Super easy. But again, I double matted this one, so I made the black 4 by 6 and this one 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now, if you don't like that large of a border, you can adjust your measurements. I'm just not a big 1/8 person. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Again, we should have an even border all the way around. We're going to cover up our magnet like so. I'm going to flip that page up, and on the back I'm going to add my green. So you need 3 green and 2 pink if you want to do the backs. If you don't want to do the backs, then you can just leave them white and then just add your photo. But I'm going to show you really quick how you can get 3 pieces of the 4 by 6 out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here really quick. And here's my 8.5 by 11. The first thing you want to do is you want to put it in this way, and you want to cut your 6 inches. So if you cut your 6 inches here first, then you can cut your 2 pieces that are 4 by 6. So 4 and 4. That's all the waste you'll have for that. And then you got the other one that you're going to cut to 6 inches this way. You can save that for a tag or something. And then cut this down to 4. So there you got your 3 pieces of 4 by 6 out of one sheet 8.5 by 11. That way you can get away with just using 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 of the green. All right, so I'm going to add my green piece to the top here. Okay, green. And I'm going to turn it this way just so I can get it even. Like so. And then my next paper, I'm going to use blue polka dots, and that's going to go on my next page. I know, cute little gnomes. We're going to use them on the other side. But again, if you like the other paper better, go for it. It's your book. It's all cute. There's no ugly paper in this pack. Promise, it's all adorable. So again, I'm just going to add this here with a little border all the way around. And then I'm going to flip it up, and I'm going to add a pink page. Then I'm going to use this pretty floral print. This. And then I'm going to alternate with another green. And if you don't have this green and pink, I mean, there's like yellow you could add, would be really pretty. There's that teal color that would be really pretty. This is just what I had on my stash. This green is lawn fawn cardstock, actually. But it would be really nice if, here's a hint, Jody, from PHOTOPLAY. Make some solids to coordinate with your collection packs. That would be lovely. Just saying. There, I got my little plug in. All right, now we're going to add the cute little stripes. And again, if you would rather have this one, you can. But I'm going to show you the reason why I chose what I chose when we get them all in here. But again, it's your book. You make it the way you want. And another pink. Dang, I can't believe I bumped that camera. My husband's going to kill me. Just saying. How many years have I been doing videos? That's the first time I've ever done that. Oops. Okay, we're going to add the black print again. Right here. Flip it up, and I'm going to add my last green piece. Okay, so now on here, I want to go back to what I started right here, which was the heart paper with the black. So I'm going to add my black first. And then I'm going to add this on top of it. And then we're going to make a little pocket and add a pocket on there, just because we can. So, you know, why not? So I'm going to add the heart paper on first. Like so. Now we're going to take this little piece, and I used, what did I use? I used the pink, just to match. But you could use this side too. Either way, it's adorable, but I wanted to put some cute little stickers on there. So this piece is going to measure 5 1/4 by 3 inches, and we're going to score it 1/2 inch on the 2 short sides and 1 long side to make a pocket. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard really quick. And again, I got it in here. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. Super easy. I'm going to add my tape. Again, I like to add my tape before I cut my corners out. Kind of funny like that. And I'm going to hold on my score lines so I can see them. And I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut my corners out. Now you could do your corners however you like to do your corners. I like to take them in. Ooh, this is going to be hard to see. But I can see it from this side. And cut right where they meet. Like so. So that way when I fold it over, they come exactly together. Just like so. Okay. I'm going to angle these top ones just a little bit because we're adding this on top and I don't want anything to show. Just taper them a little bit. Now I'm going to add my pocket right here to the bottom of this. Now if you want to leave a little black at the bottom, you can. Let me see, did I do that? Nope, I didn't do that on the sample, but it's kind of cute. So I'm going to take the backing off and add your pocket. I think I will do it this way because it should just fit on there. Yep. There we go. Now we can take this and add it to our book, like so. Make sure you don't go over your score line there. It should be right next to it. Alrighty, here we go. Like so. Cute. Now we're gonna, there we go. Now we're gonna decorate this little flap here. And I use this cute little 3x4 card and stick it right there. I'm going to take the tape off of that. There. This would be cute mounted in like the pink or the green as well. Okay. And then on my little 1/2" spaces, I added some of the stickers, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. So over here, I wanted to add another 3x4 card. So this, I really like this one, but it was a 4x6. So I just cut it in half. So that way I have 2 3x4 cards. So this is half of this one. And I'm going to put it here, but I kind of wanted it, because we got lots of room in here, I kind of wanted some dimension. So I'm going to put a piece of chipboard in the back of this, because, or you can use foam tape, but again, I have so much scrap chipboard, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to add that to the back. And I'm going to put my little gnomes on here like so. Oh my God, how stinking cute. Ta-da! Adorable. So there we go, we got that side done. Now we're going to decorate the other side, which for me should be over here. But see, now y'all know how silly I can be. I make mistakes all the time too. But you know what? Nobody's going to know, because I'm not going to tell and you're not going to tell. Alrighty, the first what we want to do is we want to cut paper for this. And I used, now you get 2 of every page, and actually if you're really conservative with your paper, you can get almost 2 folios out of 1 pack of paper using this folio 3. Again, I wanted black because I put black on the opposite side, so that's why I did cut a piece of black first. And then this is the reverse side of the cut aparts. So that's what we're going to put on there first, and I'll give you those measurements. Again, these are the measurements that I use, but if you like a smaller border, you can cut your paper accordingly. So my black piece, and it's not that, it's going to be 4 1/4 by 8. It's going to go right on here, like so. Now the green showed up, but again, because I used black over here, I wanted to use black on the opposite side just to keep it consistent. Take that one off. And I have this little piece right here. There we go. Now the green paper that's going to go on top of there is going to measure a little bit smaller. I actually only left 1/8 of an inch border. So I made this one 4 1/8 by 7 7/8. So it's going to fit right like that. Okay. See, it's the back of the cut aparts, but it's okay. I promise. So I'm going to put that on there like that. Stick it down. And it still goes through the 2 pieces of paper because these magnets are super strong. All right, so we're going to flip that page up. And then the next page that we have for the top of that is going to be, again, I did a solid black. And because I was conserving my paper, I went ahead and cut this to 4 by 6. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 4 by 6. It's gonna go right like that. That way you have a little journal spot there. And this is where I did like a, you could put like a white strip. You could write with a white gel pen. You could add some stickers, or if you want to, you can make your paper, cut your paper all the way down. I was trying to conserve my paper because it's so stinking cute. So again, I don't know if I told you the black piece is going to be the same as the black piece on the front. 4 1/4 by 8. I'm going to turn it this way. So cute. Then we're going to add our little gnome paper. Like so. And then I'm going to put a little label right there. We get all done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my pages and I'm going to put this piece right in here. Okay, and it should fit just right. Like so. Okay. And this piece is going to measure 4, and I made it 4 1/8. You don't have to make it 4 1/8 by 8 1/4. I just want to make sure I didn't go over any of my score lines. That's why I did it that way. Perfect. So we're going to add that right there. And I think I'll use a little bit of wet glue, even though I don't like it. Oops. Just because I got all those little hinges and all those little things in there. Okay, here we go. Okay, perfect. Stick it in. Do you ever lose your gum folder? Am I the only one that does that? Oh, makes me crazy. Okay, there we go. Cuteness. So then what I did on this one is I trimmed this down to 2 7/8 by 3 7/8 and cut a black 3 by 4, just so I would have a little border here, because again, I just didn't think it showed up on the white. So that's why I did what I did. And that's going to go right down here to cover up that little magnet. So I'm going to layer these two together. And add this one. Like so. Okay. So now when this folds up, like so, there we go. Super cute, huh? All right. Let's go ahead and decorate these pages. And what I did was I cut 2 of each of these, so that way each little booklet would have the same colors of papers. So here we go. First one, I used these cute little gnomes, and these are cut at 4 by 7 3/4. So that's going to go right here. And then I'm going to flip it open, and again I added the solids just because I kind of liked it. So you're going to need 2 pink and 2 green. And again, these are going to measure 4 by 7 3/4. I have 2 of the pink and 2 of the green, but again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just thought it was, and you could do black if you wanted, but I thought the colors were kind of pretty. So my first one is going to be pink. So then on the next page, we're going to add a stripe's going to go right there. Which is the reverse of the cute little nose. Now, if you want to save paper, in my original design, I had cut the stripes so they were going the other direction. But I didn't for this one, because I wanted them to both be the same. And we're going to add a green piece right here. And then we're going to add the blue up there, which has got the cute little nose on the back. And then on the back of here, we are going to put this really cute yellow print, because when we get them both open, these are going to be exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the yellow, and then we'll do the other side. Just like so. Now, I wanted another little pocket, so you'll notice in the sample, I used this cute little piece, but I wanted to break up the pattern because, you know, look. So I cut a little piece of black scrap, and this little pocket is going to be 1 3/4 by 4. So this is a little bit bigger. This is like 1 7/8 by 4. So you have a little black border on the top and the bottom. So it's flush with the sides, but you just have a black border along the top and the bottom, like so. Okay, then I'm just going to glue this down because I want to just put some tags in there, but I want them not to fall out, so I'm going to use wet glue. And just add a little bead of glue along the 2 sides and along the bottom. Like so. Cuteness. Alrighty, let's do the other side. So we're going to start just like we did before with the cute little print with the nose and all the little crafty supplies. And then again, we're going to start out with pink. I got a hot mess there. Okay. And then the next one is going to be dried paper. For some reason, did not have one. Okay. 4 by 7 3/4, right there. I'm going to add our green paper. And then we're going to add our blue paper. And then we're going to do the yellow like we did before. So we're going to go ahead and make our pocket first, I think, and then we'll add the whole piece together. So it's going to go like this because I want it to look like when it's open. I'm trying to pay attention to the way my print goes. So I cut one long piece and I cut it in half. I know. Who thinks of that besides me? Excuse me. All right, here's my little piece of black. And again, this is going to measure 1 3/4. by 4, and this is going to be 1 7/8 by 4. So the sides are flush, and you just have a little black border at the top and the bottom. And again, that's just to break up the pattern on pattern. And then we're going to add this with wet glue to 3 sides to create a little pocket. It's easier to do it before you add it to the page. Why I didn't do it the first time, I don't know. That's okay. Okay. Look how cute that looks when it's open all the way. Adorable. There we go. So then these are going to go like this. This is going to go like this and fold down. And there we have it. Cuteness, huh? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this piece. And again, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to put it on a piece of chipboard. And again, these are the little 3x4 cards. Don't put your heart upside down. That's what I almost did. Did you see that? Oh, my Lanta. Okay. And then I think in the sample, let's see what I did. Yes, I did. I added a cute little sticker that said crafty. It says crafty weekend to this one. And then to this one, I did art is messy. Okay, so now we're going to just add our paper to this spine piece. And I used this little pretty print here, the black print. And I cut it to 1 where did I cut it at? 1 3/8. Yep. By 8 1/4. And I'll just put this on with wet glue. So I'm just centering that top to bottom, left to right. There it is. Now we are going to decorate the front. Super cute, and I like to lay it out like this. Now I wanted to add a ribbon closure, which you don't have to. The book looks super cute without it, but I wanted to add one anyway. So here's all my front papers. Let me just give you the measurements. And I cut my covers a little bit bigger, so I did make them 4 3/8 by 8 1/4. So I did the plaid on the front and the back. And then the reverse of that is the pink, and that's 1 1/2 by 8 1/4, and that's gonna go right there. But I'm gonna add my ribbon. So I'm gonna use the black, and then I like to cut just one long piece and have it go continuously. You can cut 2 separate pieces if you want. I don't know, maybe I'm basically lazy, so I just cut one long piece. And enough to tie a bow. So I'm going to cut it about right there. I know, right? No exact measurement here. Okay. So I'm going to find the middle of my ribbon. And let's see, how big did I make this? About 30 inches. So I'm going to find the center right here. I'm just going to crease my ribbon. I'm going to add a piece of score tape to my front. In the middle, I'm just eyeballing it. Like so. There's the center of my ribbon. I'm going to put it in the center of my spine, and I'm just going to use the tape just to tack it down. Now I glue this ribbon under only the front cover. Does that make sense? Probably not, but I'll show you in a second. So now I'm going to add my paper to the front. And I'm going to add another piece of tape to the top, just to sandwich that in there. And then I'm going to use my glue. Now I'm going to fold my book up so I can make sure I get it straight. I'm going to turn it this way. Like so. Now this has just a smaller border around it because I wanted it that way. So cute. I love this plaid. This is probably one of my favorite. I loved every print. There was not one print that I did not like at all. I loved every single one of them. And you know, there's usually always one, but this one, no, I loved it all. So now I'm going to move my ribbon out of the way and then add my spine piece and the back. And the spine piece is 1.5 by 8 1/4, or that's the measurement that I used, just to add a little bit of. Okay, and then the last one, the back cover. Now again, you can use whatever papers you want. This is just the papers that I chose, because all the paper's cute. So there we go. Then this will just wrap around like this and tie. So what I did for the front cover in the original is I really liked the crafting with my Gnomies, because that's what this was going to be about, right? You know, when you go to those retreats or National Scrapbooking Day, you got your friends over and you're scrapbooking with friends. So I really wanted this, but there was no sticker that said that. But where I got this was here. Look. So I fussy cut it out. That's what I'm going to do on this one. Now, I'm not a fussy cutter. If anybody knows me, you all know I do not like to fussy cut, but this was pretty simple. I mean, they've already kind of got the lines there. So, and I did leave the white border, but then I'm going to mount it on some black cardstock, just to make it show up again against the. And I'm going to go just like this, because I want to use the little gnomes for the other portion right here, because they were so cute. But there are stickers, but I think I used the stickers on some other ones, and I really like these two little cuties. So that's what I did. Like so. Now I'm going to take my little gnomes, I'm going to cut them out. And I made a little smaller white border than what's on there, but oh my god, so cute. There we go. There's our little gnomes. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and put it on a piece of black and cut around it again. And I think I'm going to use a little wet glue, just so I make sure it gets stuck all the way. And I did that with a lot of the stickers and the ephemeras. Like, I went ahead and put these on black cardstock and just cut around them just so they show up a little bit better. Same with the sticker, because, you know, I could have put it on white, but I wanted it on black. So now we're going to cut this one out. There's that one. How cute. Now, I didn't put the little cutie patooties on black because they're going to be mounted on the other one. So I left this flat. I'm just going to glue this down. Again, you can use whatever you want on the front of your cover. I'm just showing you how I decorated mine. I have a lot of people ask about that, especially the decorating process. So we're just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna add this like right here at the top. You could put it on foam tape if you want, but sometimes I like my cover to be a little flat so that way it doesn't get smushed when you open it. Now I'm going to add my circles. I did a pink and I did a black. And again, this was 2.5 and this was 2 1/4. And if you have like some dies, you could use dies. I just happen to have punches that worked. And I'm going to glue these two together. Leave an even border. And then I've got my die cut circle, which this kind of almost fits in there. I'm going to put that right in the middle. So my cute little gnomes will be grounded and not just floating around on the book. Looks pretty good. And now we'll add this. And I'm going to put it kind of in the center, like so. So messy with the glue, people. Now I'm going to add my cute little gnomes. Like so. Oh my God. Don't you love them? Aren't they darling? How cute are those? Now you can leave it like that, or you can take it one more and add this cute little sentiment that comes from the ephemera die cuts. It says, so much paper, so little time. And let me tell you, that is me, people. That is me. Now the sentiment is black, which it shows up, kind of. But I wanted to, again, make it stand out a little bit more. So I went ahead and cut a little strip. And I'm going to add it here. And then I did add this with foam tape. This was the only thing that I popped up. Got my little strip a little wide, so I'm going to trim it. Ta-da! How cute, right? There. So I'm going to get a little bit of foam tape and put that little puppy on there. There we go. How cute, right? And then there's our cute little book. And then, again, I'll just show you really quick what I did. So on this side, let me just show you what I did here. This was from the ephemera, and I just put it on black cardstock, and then I just glued it down. This is a little sticker that says Art is Messy. I added that right there. And then I took the border strip off the sticker sheet down here. So here's where the Art is Messy. And then I just cut this to be the width of this and stuck it down there. And then the other portion I used at the top right there. Okay. And then on the first section here, I did a piece of ephemera. And again, I just glued it down. I put this piece of ephemera on some black cardstock, and then I just glued it down along the bottom so you could tuck something under there. Sticker, super cute. I love those letters. A piece of ephemera, and again, I just glued it at the top. And then this was our pocket. This is a little tag from the ephemera pack, and that's just one of the 3x4 cards that I had left over. Stuck that in there. And then on this side, again, a piece of ephemera that I only glued down right here. This is another 3x4 card, and I thought the blue kind of matched, kind of broke up the stripes a little bit, and I just glued it down on the left side. That way you could tuck something in there. And then again, the word crop. So we got create, we got crop, and then this is a piece of ephemera that I just glued down here as another tuck spot. And then here's our other pocket. This is the sticker that I put on black cardstock and just cut around it. And then this is the other half of this card. See? So I thought it was cute. So that is that section for the decorating. And then over here, again, Crafty Weekend was from the sticker sheet. Again, Maker's Gonna Make is from the sticker sheet. Same with the Get Your Craft On. And then this was a sticker, and I took the sticky off with my, you know, powder tool, or you can use baby powder, or you can put it on black cardstock and fussy cut around it, whatever works. This little sticker, the little gnome, again, I just attached him all the way down. Again, Inky Fingers is from the sticker sheet. I think these were all stickers on this side. Yep, Handmade and Heartfelt, another cute little gnome. Love this one. And another cute little gnome. And then Meet Me at the Crop. And then some more stickers. This was a sticker right here. And I put it on black cardstock, just so it would show up against the pink pocket. And then I just glued it down. And this is a cute little gnome right here. God, he's adorable. And then this was a 4x6 card, and I put it in my scoreboard like this, scored it in half, and then I decorated the outside, because it's the polka dot paper, with some stickers here, and little cute little gnomes. And then these are some leftover cut apart cards. I just stuck them in there. This was from the ephemera pack. And that's it. So there you go. Oh, and then on the back I did, because I like to add something on the back, I did a Made with Love. So, and I did knot the ends of my ribbon. So there you go, everybody. That's the super cute little National Scrapbooking Day crafting with my Gnomies. I hope everybody had fun, and I hope you love this project as much as I do, because this paper is too cute for words. And yeah, so make sure you share your projects that you made with this paper on social media and tag PHOTOPLAY Paper, or tag my sister Scrapper. I'd like to see too. And here's the one that we just finished. Super cute. There's the one we just made. This is the sample. So there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on National Scrapbooking Day. Big thank you to Jody from PHOTOPLAY and Amy from PHOTOPLAY for letting me push myself on them and let me do this, because I had so much fun. So there you go, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.